Hello, everybody. Welcome to the latest episode of Talk of the Course. I'm Paul Swain, and I'm here today with Matt Jones. Matt, here we are again, talking about digital content, this time with Katy Webster, who's the marketing manager of Perth Racecourse.
I know, very exciting, boys. The 10th episode today of Talk of the Course. So,
did you bring a hat? And where's the party, party poppers, all the rest of it?
Budget couldn't stretch to that, but I'm excited nonetheless. And like you say, we're talking to Katy today from Perth Racecourse. They've got some really exciting new digital content, and she's going to tell us all about that and a number of other things going on at Perth this season. So really looking forward to talking to her.
Yeah, there's all that. Plus, we've got some of the details of new race day experiences available at Perth this season and some history knowledge as well about the Stone of Destiny and the Swain Palace and all the really wonderful stuff that goes on in and around the racecourse. Plus, the return of Quickfire 5, where we'll learn, amongst other things, whether or not Scotland can win the World Cup, which at the time of recording is still mathematically possible. Maybe not when this actually goes out, but we'll see. Anyway, Katy Webster in conversation with Matt and I. And as discussed, we are joined by Katy Webster. Katy, thanks for joining us. And I think it's the hottest day of the year, possibly the millennium. So welcome, and thank you for taking the time to join us on this exceptionally warm day.
Thank you very much for the invite. Delighted to be here.
We'll dive straight in. And I think one of the main things we wanted to talk about today was digital content. And it certainly caught our eye. And I know that the numbers on your channels have been exceptional this season. I'm right in thinking there's a new party brought on board to join the Perth Racecourse team to help with that content this year. That's correct?
That's right. It kind of all transpired like we'd successfully done year one of the Swain Palace International Horse Trials. And we saw the detail and the level of digital marketing that they would do and the video content specifically for that. And that was an external company. So we thought, oh, hang on a minute, this is really quite unique. How about we introduce this kind of level to racing for us? So many small courses don't actually really have someone who has a sole responsibility to produce content and manage social channels. So it was the expectations of what the digital customer was wanting to see is certainly growing. So we recognized that actually we really needed this kind of specialist support and to be able to showcase exactly, everything that Perth Racecourse really has to offer. With that agency, it really allowed us to be a lot more consistent, creative, but also creative from a different perspective as well, and producing engaging kind of content, but still keeping it authentic to us. So it's really helped us kind of tell our story effectively, and essentially we've been driving so many more people to our website, which is the key for socials. It should be very much kind of, and again, back to the website, and again to the website, because ultimately that's where you're going to make your money.
I think on that authenticity point, that's something that struck me certainly from watching it. It's not just, generic, quite bland stuff about this subject or this subject. It's very much, when you watch it, you can tell it's immediately now Perth Racecourse, that tone of voice is there, which, as you say, is not always the case. And it's quite hard to achieve that. But I think having done that in, a relatively short space of time, it suggests that you're on the right track and, it is really working.
We're chuffed to hear that. The response that we've had from industry peers and our racegoers, our loyal racegoers and things like that as well, it's been absolutely fantastic. And the fact that it's really starting to attract a bit of a new audience as well is certainly, it's opening up the market for us. And it's really hard to kind of sell a vibe. When I first started, I was told Perth Racecourse had been described by a Guardian journalist as a hidden gem. And that's always stuck with me in my head. And I'm like, right, okay, let's portray this through photos. Let's portray this through our website. And this is talking 15 years ago, and then social media comes about and then photos then take, then video is just absolutely exploding. And I really hope that we're getting to that point now where we're being true to that comment and true to that opinion.
I thought you were going to say, like, why is it got to be a hidden gem? Why can't it just be a gem? Now I suppose you are kind of like shown to such a bigger audience. You start to scratch away the hiddenness. It just becomes a part of, if you're going to go up to Scotland to go racing, like Perth should be on that list, top of the list. It's fun, it's engaging, it's top quality racing, great facilities, friendly people, you name it.
Yeah, you're right. So actually, hopefully now we'll be able to drop that hidden piece. That was probably my antisocial personality coming out.
Look, I'm exactly the same. Don't worry. I think we could try and sell the vibe of this podcast more. Maybe that's something we got to do on our marketing to get more people to go and talk to us.
Yeah, I mean, is this a hidden gem in itself? Perhaps one for us to work on there. I think The thing that struck me with the content when I was having a look at it, Katy, was you seem to have really made an effort to showcase the personalities at the racecourse and behind the scenes, and it's those genuine, authentic voices, whether that be your grounds team, you and the team in the office, or like the farriers that come in and people like that. Was that a conscious decision that you made?
Very much so. Yeah, definitely. It's the people, not only the horses that make the race day, it's the people as well. And it's every single kind of element of it, of the race day. And I think we did make a conscious decision to do a very person-led approach. People connect with people. You know, it's like you'll see something online, you're just like, oh, that could be me, or, you know, I could go there. And I think creating that and using people that have attended the races for years and years and years, but also people that have just come for a one-off. And every shot you can kind of see a person that you would relate to. Like someone's all glammed up having hospitality, or someone's in their tweeds, you know, rail side in the rain, like really wanting to watch the racing and stuff. So, and I think because we're such a small team as well, like, and we're incredibly passionate about what we do, we really wanted to open up behind the scenes and say, oh, actually, we're local. Or, you know, it's like people have known the team because we've been so small. They've known us kind of for years and years and years. And it's really nice for them to probably be able to put a face to the name and to kind of get to know us a little bit. You know, it's like, oh, I'm the one that sends all the emails, or sometimes makes the mistakes in the emails and has to send again, you know. So it's, and then there's Morag, who's been here for years and years. You'll see her at the gates welcoming people. So it makes it relatable and it makes us approachable, I think, as well. I hope, anyway.
It brings it to life, and it's sort of uniquely Perth as well. You know, those personalities, you don't find them at any other race courses. So come to Perth and you can find out more about them. One question I had was, is it challenging to persuade everybody that works at the racecourse to get involved with the videos, or now that they've dipped their toe in the water, do they love it?
100%. It's something it can be quite intrusive, but as long as it's something that everyone is comfortable with, and realizing that actually it's a bit of fun. We're not looking for perfection. We're not looking for someone in a shirt and tie. We're looking for reality, you know, and they have actually been absolutely brilliant stepping out of their comfort zone. And I really think that that's why the content is really working. It feels really genuine. It's not scripted, and people do respond well to authenticity, you know, so
Well,
yes.
having had the pleasure, I would say, of working with your racing director, Matt Taylor, for many years, I can't imagine he's back about coming forward about being on the video. So I'm looking forward to that episode whenever that comes out.
Me too, definitely.
We've spoken a little bit about the kind of things you've put out there. It's a real mixed bag of content, and it goes to all the different elements that make up a race day at Perth. What sort of how do you choose what the subjects are? Is it something that it just comes from gut instinct of you and the team, or do you link up to wider industry projects and think actually that would be really good to talk to equine welfare or whatever it might be? I mean, how do you choose?
It's definitely a combination. It's a combination of the core team who've got experience for years here, and then equally our agency who are coming from a completely different perspective, as well as Project Beacon being a really key industry project that we're able to really pull a lot of kind of data from and information, and that's helped us greatly. Being a small course as well, we don't necessarily have these kind of resources, so to have that at our fingertips is just absolutely phenomenal. In terms of platforms, I would say the usual suspects. I'm probably showing my age now, but TikTok, I was begrudgingly being introduced into TikTok. But yeah, I mean, obviously being such a far younger audience, that's where we need to target, you know? It's a very social space, it's very creative, and we've seen really good growth already. Instagram, I would say, definitely remains our strong storytelling platform, and Facebook is really important for our website click-throughs, our website traffic. And that's for like engaging existing racegoers and probably the local community as well. But I suppose on the flip side of that as well, on our corporate side of the business, LinkedIn is growing for us very much. So we're kind of targeting that more on a employee basis. So we find that the engagement comes really high from the employees rather than from the business page. So yeah, we're just kind of slowly turning all of us into ambassadors for our business on LinkedIn. So
yeah, no, I mean, I get that totally. I think we're all, anyone who's signed up to a LinkedIn will know you kind of immediately become that brand ambassador for the company, whether you like it or not. And again, just goes back to one of the things we said at the start of the conversation about the different layers of a race course, the different types of race day event, all these different things appeal to so many people. You can come and do a corporate away day. You can come and do a wedding on a non-race day. You can come and enjoy the racing on your many fantastic race days. All these things add up to, they grow the total, don't they? So it's wonderful. You're able to be across so many platforms and even access the newer ones. Like, we know that TikTok has got a much younger audience than the average racegoer, but there's no reason why racecourses shouldn't be in that space. And there's so many great examples of racing on TikTok that's gone viral in the last couple of years, and long may it continue.
Could you talk to us a little bit more about the success that you've seen in terms of the numbers, the click-throughs? You've touched on it before, but it'd be interesting to get some numbers behind those.
Yeah, for sure. We've been absolutely delighted with the response of our new kind of digital project, really. The viewing figures have completely exceeded expectation. The engagement is continuing to grow, but most importantly, we are very much seeing people coming through to our website, which is exactly what we want. That is our goal. And because we're able to use this engaging content now, people are then they're a bit more susceptible to finding out more about what racing is all about at Perth. They're able to book tickets and explore everything else that we really have to offer. In terms of figures, we're looking at around about 17% that will come from Facebook. And then Instagram is a lower kind of click-through rate, but we know that, and we're sitting around about 5-6% really. So yeah, there's good stats, and there's stats that we're definitely growing. And TikTok is a fresh one at the moment. We're starting to see more engagement on that one and more curiosity of where they're coming from. But it is a hard thing to gauge. We rely on the analytics and obviously as well from the great data that we get from Project Beacon. However, when people are actually at that point of buying a ticket, you do have to put a lot of faith in them of seeing if they're engaging in the drop down of, say, where have you heard about us? I just kind of had a wee thought the other day. I was like, I wonder if we could really mix that up instead of it being like Facebook, Instagram, newspaper or something like that. We could really put in some fun to kind of get people's attention. Like we could say, oh, courier pigeon, or something like that, or the beacons of Gondor. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like, yeah, trying to engage them a little bit more and make it fun. We want to start having fun from the start. So
I'm here for that. If the first race called Courier Pigeon, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I'm quite keen for that, actually. They let off racing pigeons here in the car park sometimes as well. Yeah.
It's not impossible then.
No.
So you mentioned the website there, Katy, and before your season started this year, you went through a rebrand. Could you tell us a little bit about that? What was the purpose and the aim behind that, and what sort of story is the new brand messaging telling?
Yeah, so I think it's been quite overdue, really. We kind of, at the start of the process, we very much knew that we wanted to stick with our heritage. Like, we've got a very long history and heritage here, and racing in Perth since 1613, racing at the Palace since 1908. So we really wanted the brand to reflect who we are today, as well as recognising who we were in the past, kind of thing. So we're very proud to be a racecourse, indeed, very proud, but we only race 12 days a year. So the rest of the 350 something days, we are an event venue. We've got fantastic facilities. We've got absolutely beautiful green spaces. So I feel, and I hope others do too, that our new brand really reflects that broader offer. Not only does it physically say it, racing and events, but I think it just also gives it a fresh, modern, welcoming, and very versatile look. So and that just helps us tell our wider story that we're open for business, and we do corporate dinners, we do birthdays, some weddings, anniversaries, and conferences, and a lot of trade shows.
So one of the things which Perth is renowned for is that fantastic day out when you do go to the races. And I know this season there's been a number of surprise and delight elements that you've introduced for racegoers. I mean, can you just maybe tell us a bit about those, Katy, and how they've been received?
Yeah, we very much are about the kind of having a good time here and having a bit of a party. So we started to introduce free race cards. We did that a few years ago, actually. And it was an initiative that we're kind of wanting to remove one more barrier so that people can come and enjoy the day at the races. It's just that extra bit of money to part with. And what we were making from it was marginal anyway. So we decided, right, just kind of absorb that within our ticket price. And it's a great talking point for people at the gate when they're new to racing. And they're like, oh, what's a race card? And it's a really good in for us to start a conversation with them and just explain the race card experience and how they can use it and what they can expect during the day. So we found that is a brilliant way to engage with the race score. We've heard and a fantastic team to be literally on the race cars, handing them out as people come through the gates. And the chat that you get from that is just, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
I can imagine. But it's such a nice thing, isn't it? I mean, you know yourself when you go anywhere and someone is there to greet you, hand you something and say welcome, you immediately kind of feel a bit more special and a bit more, oh, I'm happy to be here. And this, oh, I didn't expect this. This is great. So I think, if the economics can work behind it, which clearly you've been able to do, I'd love to see more race courses do it, frankly. I think it's such a lovely initiative. And it's just another, as you say, another small but really genuinely nice thing to give to racegoers and thank them for coming.
Yeah, well, exactly, because we kind of thought it was like, and one of our sustainability aims is to kind of reduce, obviously, our carbon footprint, of course, and to try and minimize the amount that we do print and spend on paper. So we've got quite a big policy here within our office of not printing off emails. We very much, kind of share content digitally. And we also thought as well, it's like the Raceday Ready app. That is a fantastic facility that we are able to use. We would, as a small course, not have been able to actually provide an app like that at all. So we've really jumped on the bandwagon there, and we've noticed that our customers really respond well to that. So it ticks the sustainability box for us as well. Not only a nice kind of surprise and delight for the customer, it's an engagement tool, and it's an investment for the overall customer experience rather than a cost that we have. But we have noticed as well, if we do run out of race cars, which I have to say is quite rare, but we can then promote the app, and a lot of people actually come up to us now and wave their phones and just like, oh, actually, I'm on the app now. Thanks, though. So it's great. But then I'm also like, okay, you actually need to take this because I've got other offers in here. but it's a balance, isn't it? It's a balance that we've got to try and do. So we've had great feedback from it, and I think people genuinely feel like we're going the extra mile for that. And it's like, well, actually, that's been quite a small tweak for us with a big impact. And I'm like, that to me is it's a winner.
Yeah. And looking ahead, there's some big race days coming up. I think Family Day, a big one. The Stone of Destiny Raceday, which I think is the best named race day in British racing. I can't think of a better one. I mean, what's coming up at those days? They sound really exciting and fun for lots of different racegoers.
Yeah, we're really excited about our 2 kind of weekend race days coming up. One of our big days is Family Day. So under 18s go free, as we know, across every fixture and every racecourse. And for us, it's about giving back to the community, and all the under 18 or all the activities are free of charge. So we've got giant inflatable village. We've got Muckmaiden mountain bikes coming with their cool trail track, so people can use a little pump track. We've got therapy ponies coming. And of course, our charity partner for that day is Saints of the Community. So our local football team, St Johnstone, they have an amazing charity arm, and we raise money for like football camps that they're able to provide for children that might not be able to attend otherwise. And they support so many local projects, which is absolutely amazing. So we're delighted to be helping them raise money. And that is a real fun day that we have for kids. We have like over 1,500 kids that day. So hopefully it's not as hot as it is today, but
no,
we'll be all hosing them down. It'll be too hot. And of course, the Stone of Destiny. I think I was saying earlier, Paul, that we've actually got a replica of the actual Stone of Scone, sorry, I should say its true name, really. So that's a very big race day for us, not just for entertainment, but for our heritage, for part of our history with our neighbours, Scone Palace. So it's a very exciting day for us as well.
It's just like, we look at us sat here grinning like Cheshire Cat. It's just so cool. I think it's like the fact you've got a trophy with the Stone as well. I mean, I'm going to put this out there now. We should start a competition across the racecourses. Who has the best trophy for a race? And I think the Stone immediately goes in at 1. And it's winners days on, I think, until we find something that's more iconic.
A few. So we had a series of trophies commissioned by Hazel Poplinski, and honestly, they're all related to the local area. We've got the Fairmaid of Perth, which is a beautiful, I think it's a bronze or kind of like an iron cast. And then we've got the stone, and then we've also got the saddle quern as well, which was, I think that was related to the Gold Castle field, but I can't remember in what way. I think it was to grind meal or something like that. So yeah, there's loads of history behind our series of trophies throughout the year, actually, which is really, really quite cool.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. Brilliant.
Yeah, there's something for everybody at Perth, whether it's the social race goers and the families, the people that are just there for the racing, or your history buffs as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, very much so. And we have this sometimes, and a few other racecourses probably will have this as well, but we get contacted through email or socials, and they'll send us some information that they have had on the racecourse. And obviously we'll verify and things like that. But some of the photos that we get, we're just like, wow, it's absolutely fascinating. And I love that. I think Lady Mansfield is very much, she wants to embrace our history and heritage. You know, it's her roots. And I think that's just, yeah, it's phenomenal. Really exciting stuff.
Okay, so we've reached that stage of the podcast, Katy, where we do the quick fire 5 to get to know you, the personality of the week a little bit better. So, Katy, are you ready for the quick fire 5?
Okay, go for it.
So, first question, what is the best non-racecourse visitor experience that you've had?
Let's say the Stone of Destiny, just because I was really excited to see that.
Do you have an official racecourse dog at Perth, yes or no?
We've got about 6. And I don't have favourites.
No. It's like children, dogs, children, and no favourite. They're all equal.
What is your proudest moment from all your time at Perth Racecourse?
I can't think of all time, but last year we had, on our family race day, we had Autism and Racing Up. And I came in the next day and I had the most beautiful email from a mum who was raising an autistic child, quite severely autistic. And she said that the child had the best day of his life. So I was like, wow, that's pretty special. So I was really proud to be part of that. And the wider team, I just thought that was absolutely amazing.
Love that. It makes all the ops and the stresses of putting the race down worth it, I think, when you get feedback like that from customers.
Absolutely.
Your favourite horse that you've seen at Perth doesn't have to be a winner, just your favourite.
I would say Breeze of Wind.
Now, for this final question, I did actually write them a couple of days ago now, and technically it's still possible, but the final question was going to be, will Scotland win the World Cup?
Yes. In my head, yes. Whether it can happen or not is a different story, but
What's football
imagine.
without hope, eh?
Yeah.
Exactly. Absolutely. I mean, yeah. Couldn't watch it last night after the first goal, but anyway. They could. You never know.
Whilst it's still technically possible, the dream's alive.
Always.
Massive thanks to Katy for joining us today. I mean, I have to say, Matt, those numbers on the digital content are fantastic. I think it's a really great example, along with the episode that we had with Charlotte from Gurus in Yorkshire, but that there are ways that smaller tracks with limited resource can make a real go of this, putting the racecourse out there into the digital world and attracting a swathe of new fans.
Yeah, you're right, Paul. I think it's so great to see as well, as Katy touched on, a lot of our SI members, the small independent members, do have limited resource when it comes to something like this. So it's quite brave for them to take the leap, to engage an agency, not based in Scotland, but with experience in racing and other equestrian events. So I'm glad it's been successful for them. And just even in its early stages, it's showing some really good signs of driving people to the website, increasing the reach of the racecourse, and ultimately getting people through the door and enjoying racing at Perth.
Yeah, I agree. And I think as well, Katy mentioned about Project Beacon and some of the other industry initiatives that are accessible to Perth and all racecourses for that matter. And the fact that that's a huge resource which is there, and it's there to guide, it's there to advise. These decisions that racecourses make don't need to be made in the dark. There's data and there's evidence and insight which can hopefully shed a bit of light on what's the right decision, what's the best way to spend that precious resource. And Perth have done that, and I think, as Katy said, the numbers are proving really strong. So long may it continue throughout the rest of this summer and into next season too. Thanks for listening to this episode of Talk of the Course. If you enjoyed it and don't want to miss an episode, make sure you subscribe. And if you really enjoyed it, why not rate us 5 stars?